For low-cost rallycross action, look no further than the Swift Sport Suzukis. Identical cars, and all of this means it's about driver ability to see who will come out on top. After 3 qualifying heats, Simon Ovenden is that man. He's ahead of Rob Shield, Morgan Bailey third from Dominic Flitney, Chris Woolett, and then Rob Maynard. Enough cars to generate the 2 semi-finals. The first is coming up. 6 laps ahead of us. Simon Ovenden then is the man on pole position, the championship leader. Is he going to be a race winner come the end of semi-final 1? The grid is formed. We are ready to go racing. Lights go green. It's blast off. Good start by Ovenden then from pole position. Down towards turn 1. Ovenden in the red car it is. Morgan Bailey tries to go round the outside of him. Chris Woolett on the outside line slots into third, and so Ovenden is going to be the man who leads the pack up towards the loose for the first time. Not only does he lead, he's trying to get away from them as well. Through they come across that loose section for the first time, and so the race leader Simon Ovenden, whose brother Tristan is one of the leading lights in Super National, leads the pack, and already was that Morgan Bailey going for the joker lap, I think it was. So also from the back Joe Booth, and so as the cars work their way through lap 1 of 6 in this first semi-final, there through number 60 Lewis James, and back on track comes Morgan Bailey. So he served the joker, and look, because the field is still tightly bunched, he's not really lost that much. The race hasn't had much chance to let gaps open up, so it's a very good idea, if you can, to get the joker out of the way early. Morgan Bailey then presses on in pursuit as he comes down to the hairpin. There is Lewis James, brakes hard, lifts a wheel, turns into the hairpin. There's that little step down there as they go through that tight left and now blast their way up towards the timing line. Into turn 1, Simon Ovenden, the race leader, is getting away all the time here. He's looking very strong indeed. Now Morgan Bailey, joker lap out of the way, runs third. The 2 ahead, of course, have got to serve their jokers, but as long as he's stuck there behind Lewis James, he's not going to be able to make much progress up towards the race leader. Now, that's good news. James jokers gets out of his way. So the road opens up for Morgan Bailey. What he's got to do now is push, 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 and try and close the gap against the race leader. James drops back in the pack. He's behind Chris Woolett now as he rejoins the main circuit from the loose to the tarmac. So it is Simon Ovenden who leads, and in second place is Morgan Bailey. Ovenden won at Lyddon early on in the season at Easter. He won here on our first visit, but the last 3 events all been won by Rob Shield. Morgan Bailey yet to score a win. There's Chris Woolett, who won at Croft at the start of the season, so it's been a reasonable spread across them here. 63, Max Weatherly through, ahead of Lewis James now as they go past the pits once again. Simon Ovenden then, with what looks like an enormous lead, helped of course because he's yet to serve the joker. When he does take that longer lap, that longer route, so of course the gap will come down. Could even lose the lead. We've seen that in other categories across the day here. Lewis James goes through that infield section. There's that little strip of hard standing on that left-hander. This part of a double-header weekend at Pembrey. You use the circuit anti-clockwise today, clockwise tomorrow. 2 full championship rounds, full points available in each. They're bouncing across the loose and back onto the tarmac. Chris Woolett chasing after Morgan Bailey. And behind him, you've got the Max Weatherly-Lewis James battle, which at the moment has got Max Weatherly ahead. Lewis James, remember, has served his joker. That's why he's dropped away a little bit in the pack. Out of the hairpin, Chris Woolett goes deep into it. Everybody fighting for traction and everybody having to be patient with the power. In these underpowered cars, though, maintaining the momentum is key. So you want to try and go as rapidly as you can at all times, but if you run out a little bit too wide, then you're in real strife, especially at the hairpin. If you have to back off, if you lose power, it's very, very hard to gain the momentum again. There is Max Weatherly once more across the loose. Up front, Simon Ovenden is still looking strong. Championship leader is a race leader, and a very sideways Chris Woolett. They're hitting a rut and hitting the tyres as well. The car was unsettled just when he thought he'd saved it. There was a tyre stack in the way. So Chris Woolett losing a little bit of ground. Question is, has he done much damage? Front left corner took the beating. and a wheel lifting Simon Ovenden here is on his way up towards the line. It's looking very promising indeed for him here. Simon Ovenden up front then. There is Chris Wallet. Actually, the car looks like it stood up to that bit of contact pretty well. Over the line he will come in a moment. No real effect of the damage. Morgan Bailey second, but the gap is a large one, and it does look as though there will be enough in hand for Simon Ovenden to preserve the lead when he serves the Joker lap. Through there goes number 70. That's Chris Wallet across the loose section of circuit. Meantime, 73 hard at work. That's Simon Ovenden, and look, he's managed to shake off everybody else behind him. Now all he's got to do is just concentrate on getting his way safely up to the end of the race here and making sure he goes through into the main race, the final. Down towards the hairpin he comes now through that left-hander. It's looking good for him. He's looking strong. A race win beckons. Trouble is, of course, he's got more opposition when he gets to the final. This might have been an easy race, but there's the likes of Rob Shield and Dominic Flitney all lined up ready for the second semi-final. There, with a bit of damage now, is Max Weatherly. Leader is on his last lap. Max Weatherly comes down towards the hairpin. Ahead of him is Lewis James, who's managed to get the place back, of course, on that Joker lap. They're together, though, starting the last lap. And has James got a problem because Weatherly powers up to the outside line? Is he going to be able to go through there? Yes, he is, round the outside. Brave stuff. I wasn't convinced that was going to happen, but it does happen, and so Max Weatherly goes by. On the inside line, though, back ahead of him goes Lewis James. These two from the second row of the grid when they started alongside each other in the Peter Gwynn Motorsport prepared car, having a great fight. The loneliest man in the race, though, is the race leader. Simon Ovenden comes through then, ready for the checkered flag and ready for a win in this first semi-final in the Swift Sport Rallycross Championship. He comes down to the hairpin now. They've had the three heats, then these drivers get the semi-finals, such as the size of the entry, and then the all-important final at the end of the day. Checkered flag is there. Simon Ovenden takes the win. Second is going to go the way of Morgan Bailey, who tried hard but was never really able to bring down that gap. We're not done yet between Lewis James and Max Weatherly, who are absolutely together coming into the final corner. Up towards the line, it is just going to be James ahead. So confirmation of the result. Simon Ovenden is the race winner from Morgan Bailey and Chris Wallet. Lewis James just hangs on to fourth and a place in the final. Semi-final 2 for the Swifts is about to get underway. The ready-to-race legend is there. The lights in a moment will blink green and we go racing, and a good start by Rob Shield from pole position. Dominic Flitney's in the middle of row 1 and Rob Maynard's alongside. Matt Maxted and Don McLeod are on the second row. Only one driver then is going to be disappointed, so you just need to make sure you go through. Rob Shield leads the pack. There is Dominic Flitney in second place as they work their way onto the loose for the first time here. Rob Shield is very much the man in form of late. He has won the last 2 races, indeed the last 3 races, I should say, on the bounce. In other words, both Mondello Park and Liddon Hill finals. Many go for the Joker early on. There is Matt Maxted, who serves that longer lap, gets it out of the way. He will rejoin at the back of the pack, but it may well be that places come to him as others have to serve their Joker laps later in the race. The leader then is Rob Shield. And who is the man behind him? It is Dominic Flitney. There's a rather sideways McLeod in the background, but Flitney, race preparation man in the Flitspeed car, hunting down Rob Shield, former circuit racer, son of former British champion Michael Shield, and of course it's the Shield family who for so long kept Croft going as a venue. Long after circuit racing had stopped and before it returned, it was purely for rallycross, and that was in the late 80s when Group B cars roamed rallycross circuits around the world, and the Shield family has a great history in rallycross, and rallycross fans have much to thank the Shield family for maintaining that venue in the northeast of England. Rob Shield, though, now is very much a rallycrosser in his own right. Never mind who he's the son of, because he's a very successful rallycross racer this year. It's going to be between him and Simon Ovenden in the championship as we get to Croft at the end of the season, no doubt. Here he leads the way in this second semi-final from Dominic Flitney there in second spot. Through they come, almost together now, but Shield still seems to have the advantage. across the loose and back to tarmac. Now there is Matt Maxted, who has gained 1 place. He jokered early on, and as others have jokered now, so he gets the spot back. Dominic Flitney trying to stay close enough to the race leader Rob Shield to perhaps inherit the advantage late race. There is Rob Maynard in third, Maxted fourth. He could gain another spot here before the very end. Over the line goes this fight now for third place. Rob Maynard through, and there Matt Maxted hunting him down. Is he going to be able to get near enough, I wonder, to challenge, or is he going to have to hope that he will gain that place on the Joker lap? Matt Maxted is certainly quick, pushes on, hits the loose, and up the road ahead of him is Rob Maynard, who for the time being is a bit in no man's land. He's not catching the leaders, but he's not really being closed in on just yet by Matt Maxted. Maynard electing not to joker this time either, but that might be against him. Maxted looking a fraction faster. He's certainly chipping away. There is Rob Maynard back onto tarmac. And behind him in fourth spot now you've got Matt Maxted. To the hairpin they come. Don McLeod, the former RX 150 racer, is at the back of the pack, falling away now, and it looks as though he's going to be the one that misses the cut for the final. There going through is Dominic Flitney. He goes onto the loose surface once more, but is he going to get near enough to the race leader Rob Shield? On current evidence you would say no. Shield has been the man in form over the last few meetings, and here he's got the advantage and he's building the advantage. Across the loose he comes. After a spell in Formula Ford, he went back to rallycrossing and has had a really good season. But it's very much between him and Simon Overton in terms of the championship, and that is a fight to look forward to as we get to the final here at Pembrey. There is Flitney down to the hairpin now. Dominic Flitney, who has been there or thereabouts all season, runs way wide out of the hairpin, across the loose, across the grass, carries on, but a mistake made, and so he runs out wide, as there is Don McLeod. McKenzie Scott looks like he's going to miss the cut unless somebody further up the order has a problem. Maynard and Maxted are getting closer to one another as they turn through here, look. Is Matt Maxted going to be able to take third place? Does he even need to? Because as long as he's in the top 4 and can qualify for the final, that's the work done, really. That's the main aim here, to make sure you go through into the next round of the competition. Over the loose, bounces Rob Shield, still looking as though a race win is going to go his way. There's nobody around him. Dominic Flitney now serving his joker has fallen a long way back. And so Shield is looking ever more secure as he comes down to the hairpin this time. Into the braking area, through the left-hander, and now he blasts away up towards the line. The fight is definitely on for third though, isn't it? Because there, look, Rob Maynard starting the last lap has got Matt Maxted right up behind him. Rob Shield goes through. All he's got to do now is just keep out of trouble for one more lap, and he's there. He's in the final with the really hard work done. But this is what's going on behind. It's Maynard versus Maxted. Matt Maxted is closing all the time. The two of them run together, but Rob Shield is still looking as though the win is going to be his. Through he turns. Semi-final 2 looks like it'll go Shield's way. Semi-final 1 already won by Simon Overton, so we know that he is going to meet championship rival Shield in the final. As they come down to the hairpin for the last time, it is going to be Rob Shield who hangs on to score the race win. And he's really had no pressure other than mental pressure of not making mistakes in the race. He comes through to take the checkered flag and win the second semi-final for the Swift Sport Suzukis. Second is going to be Dominic Flitney. That means he qualifies as well. Behind him, third is Matt Maxted, and fourth, Rob Maynard. So Shield, Flitney, Maxted and Maynard go through. Matt Maxted's early joker lap proving to be a good idea, gaining late race. 6 laps for the final of the Swift Sport Rallycross Championship are ahead of us. Pole, Simon Ovenden. Middle of the front row, Rob Shield, and then Morgan Bailey alongside. Dominic Flitney and Chris Woolett are on row 2 ahead of Matt Maxted, Rob Maynard and Lewis James. The lights are green and we're racing. Good start made by James from the back row to try and get up alongside Chris Woolett. On the inside line though, Simon Ovenden is the race leader, or is he? There's a bit of leaning going on between Shield and Bailey. Up the inside comes Chris Woolett, who is all sideways, but he hangs onto the slide, and Ovenden will lead onto the loose for the first time. Woolett goes third up the inside of Morgan Bailey, and they bounce their way across the loose with a big slide from Rob Shield, who hits the tyre stack. He's back in the right direction, but he's lost 2-3 places at least there. Rob Shield seemed to do that all on his own, a bit too much speed onto the loose. He lost the back of it, and so now he tries to serve the Joker and get that out of the way so that he might be able to gain places late race. He's taking Dominic Flitney with him. Shield back on track. Rob Maynard's in all sorts of grief, getting sideways, and so Simon Ovenden is away and gone up front. Ovenden leads the way. There behind you've got Chris Woolett, and he's benefited as well with Morgan Bailey third. Down to the hairpin they come. Woolett goes deep into the corner. Morgan Bailey is behind him. Then Matt Maxted, who was good in his semi-final. But the race leader, Simon Ovenden, looks as though he's going to be away clear here. Through he comes, over the line. Ovenden, championship leader and race leader. There behind him, you've got Morgan Bailey and Chris Woolett. Woolett's ahead for the moment. Matt Maxted runs 4th, and Rob Shield is down in 5th place then. As they work their way across the loose once more. The race leading gap is a huge one already. Woolett's under attack from Morgan Bailey though. And Bailey it is that feeds off to the right-hand side this time and goes for the Joker lap. Chris Woolett accelerates through, former bike racer, former oval racer, so Matt Maxted there gains a place. He joined the championship late but has proved to be quick. And if he stays on next season, Maxted's going to be a force to be reckoned with. More experience gained in these cars. Down through Spitfires they come, and Benny Bend to the hairpin. There is Ovenden leading the way, but he's got to Joker yet. So he's got to have one run through the slower, longer lap. So too is Chris Woolett there in 2nd spot. 3rd look, Matt Maxted. And then Rob Shield, who has already served that Joker, is trying to play catch up. He runs 4th over the line. Through they come together now. Maxted chasing on, so too is Rob Shield. And Morgan Bailey, having served his Joker lap, is way off the road. Very wide indeed. Out of Honda Curve, he regroups. He's back on the right line. Bouncing his way across the loose there. The demolished tyre stack lies by the side of the road after Rob Shield attacked it on lap 1. And there is Chris Woolett ahead of Rob Shield. And that gap is coming down between the pair of them now. Shield might yet be good for 3rd, maybe even 2nd by the end of the race, because we know how much speed he's got. Matt Maxted inching up onto the tail now of Morgan Bailey, as there Chris Woolett is certainly coming under attack from Rob Shield. The gap is coming down and down between them. Simon Ovenden has no such worries. He leads the way. Bailey versus Maxted, though, those two are absolutely nose to tail as well. Over the line they come now. Together for 2nd, together for 4th, but the race leader is way out on his own up the road. As they bounce their way onto the loose once again, you can see the advantage that Simon Ovenden has got. He's on target, seemingly, for a 3rd win of the season. He won here earlier on in the year. He also won at Lyddon, and this is going to be great news for him in the championship. How much celebrating goes on might depend on where rival Rob Shield finishes. If it's 3rd, if it's lower, that's really good news. If it's 2nd, then although Ovenden will have outscored him, it's not by that much of a margin. Right now, Chris Woolett is keeping Rob Shield at bay. They're also being caught a bit by Morgan Bailey and Matt Maxted. Down to the hairpin they come. Is Shield able to make a move? He thinks about it. Chris Woolett lifts a wheel, hangs onto the place as they run now up towards the line, up through the gears, and Shield makes a move to the inside line. Lines up to have a go, and he should be able to go through. He's got the speed, he's got the shorter line, and he's got 2nd place as well. Rob Shield goes through, up into second spot, down to third, falls Chris Woolett now. Now what can Shield do on this Joker lap about this man? Because as Simon Overton goes wide, that means he's on a slower lap, a longer lap. Will he rejoin ahead? Yes, he will, comfortably ahead. Rob Shield, having lost ground early on with his spin as well as his Joker lap, is not able to really close. He's up into second place, but he now needs a mistake to come from the race leader to have any chance at all of pitching for the race win. There, third look is Morgan Bailey, fourth Matt Maxted, and fifth is Chris Woolett as they charge their way now down to the hairpin. Morgan Bailey doing his best to get away from Matt Maxted, and there, look in the background, Chris Woolett's also dropping off the back of the red car of Matt Maxted, who was good in his semi-final. Out of the hairpin they come, down that little step. Chris Woolett blasts his way now up towards the line, but he's not really getting close enough to that gaggle ahead to be able to fight back. Rob Shield through second, and then you've got third Bailey, fourth Maxted, and fifth Chris Woolett as they go to the loose once more. It's this leading battle. And there, Simon Overton looking good up front. He's made the break. There's nobody putting the pressure on him. All he's got to do now is not make a mistake, and he'll bring it home successfully for the win. He's on the tarmac once more, and down he comes then now through that fast right that brings you down towards the hairpin. Rob Shield is second as they come through Spitfires. There behind him is Morgan Bailey. So the three drivers that were on the front row are looking as though they're going to come home in that same 1, 2, 3 order. Checkered flag is at the ready, and a third victory of the season is ready for Simon Overton. Through he comes, he takes the checkered flag and wins at Pembrey. Second goes the way of Rob Shield, and third is Morgan Bailey. Matt Maxted is fourth, and it's Chris Woolett coming home in fifth spot. Behind, Rob Maynard is still busy squabbling. Lewis James is up behind him as they, nose to tail, make the run to the flag. Confirmation of the result. A win for Simon Overton, Rob Shield second, Morgan Bailey it is who takes third. Then Matt Maxted and Chris Woolett, Rob Maynard sixth, and Lewis James and Dominic Flitney down in eighth. In the championship, it's 5 points now between Simon Overton and Rob Shield. Chris Woolett is third with another round to come here tomorrow.